On that pass for him.
Well, I think he actually got there, you know?
Yeah.
I think the ball was still in. He just didn't have as much space as he wanted to do what he wanted to do. So.
Yeah, I think how hard it was to get there, too.
Yeah.
It's really hard then to cut it back after, sprinting like that full speed and then even having to dive for it.
Yeah, he slid in. Did a good job to mostly keep it in, so I think that'll be an encouraging sign for Paul McGinley. I think they do have a few players, Trinity, on yellow card accumulation, so we'll keep an eye on that. I have the notes down for which players could face a suspension. So as a reminder, it's 3 yellow cards in SCAC. It's 5 for NCAA. Those both count. So if you get 3 and then get 5, you get both suspensions. Although that 5 goes up to 8 after this weekend. So once the conference playoffs hit, which is next week, which Trinity has already qualified for, the question is just what their seed's going to be. Still playing for that. Once that hits, it's 8. So there'll be an advantage there for NCAAs. But the SCAC suspension still counts. So understandably, I think teams are going to be a bit cautious, especially Trinity, because Trinity is still... the Ozarks and Centenary, who are the 2 teams on the road, they are not in contention. Well, actually, Ozarks could be. If they win both this weekend, they would make it. So they still have things to play for tonight. Trinity still have to play for the regular season title. It's between them and Colorado College. If they both win, they're both co-regular season champions. But I believe Trinity would get the number 1 seed. At least that's how it looks on SCAC's website right now.
What's the tiebreaker for that? Do you know?
I want to say it is goals conceded in conference games. Something weird like that.
Interesting.
So it's fewest goals conceded is the tiebreak. So SCAC lists Trinity as the number 1 seed right now. So if it was today, but it's next week. In Houston, down at Sabercat Stadium. It's a great venue. Really cool to see the tournament in such a professional stadium environment. Home of the Houston Sabercats in Major League Rugby. They ain't doing anything with it right now, so let's use it.
Trinity have been creative from corners this year. We'll see what type of set piece they're
Instral's running
today.
over for the short. I did have a chat with the... that's a beautiful take on the short corner. That is doing your homework. I was about to say, I did have a chat before the match with the coaching staff at the University of the Ozarks and made it clear that they had been watching Trinity's games. So they've definitely done their homework. I'm sure everybody does their homework, though. As a fire truck just goes past. Apologies if that got picked up. Hopefully nothing too serious going on. I'll tell you what. I've lived in San Antonio long enough that I am pretty certain it's going to rain in the not-too-distant future. That wind is swirling around. That happens a lot here before rain. So
dangerous spot for a free kick here off the handball.
Yeah, it's the rule is deliberate, intentional handball, but sometimes some of them are more intentional than others, shall we say. Sometimes you mean it more, but definitely a handball. You can just about see the Ozarks women's team there on the far side. Always nice. Obviously, they're going to have to go away in the second half to start getting ready, but Always good that the teams can come down and support each other. I'm sure we'll see the same in the women's game tonight. Stepped over.
Oh, what a
Cross
ball.
comes in from Minstrel. Flicked on!
Oh!
That's a beautiful header. In the back of the net. Flicks it basically with the back of his head to Luke Mayfield. That's beautiful football. Great ball in, like you said. And then flicks it with the back of the head. He can't see where he's doing that. That's instincts right there. You can't teach that. Luke Mayfield, 3rd goal of the season, 5th goal of his career.
That's a sensational goal
That's
from
a
Trinity.
great goal. Look, it's not going to be in a goal of the season discussion, but that's stunning. That's the kind of goal I like to watch, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
No, it's textbook.
It's just
textbook.
great skill, you know? So 1-0 for the Tigers. The assist, of course, goes to Louis Instrel, so let me get his numbers. 5th assist of the season, 8th of his career. Transferred in from Marshall.
Could be in again here.
Of course, Instrel, the only one on the team that has a national champions ring. Yeah, it's going to be a free kick the other way. He's going to argue that he was going in for a bicycle, but if you collect someone while you're on your bike, it is going to be a free kick every day. Yeah, Louis Instrel, only player on the team with the national championship ring, won the national championship with Marshall in Division 1. He'd be eager to do it again. I feel like Trinity are in the discussion. I don't think they'd necessarily be the favourites.
No, but they have to be in the discussion.
They're in
Undefeated
the conversation.
season.
Only 5 teams in the whole country are undefeated. 2 of them are in SCAC. Yeah, 5 undefeated teams in the whole country. They played each other last week, actually, the 2 that are still in SCAC. And I think they're definitely in the discussion. The NPI has them in 13th, which is up 2 from last week. Massey, which I'd been using before we had access to NPI, has them 6th.
Interesting.
So, bit of a discrepancy there.
Well kept in.
Yeah, did well. Got it clear enough, which is all you can really ask for defensively.
See, but I think it's really important that Luke Mayfield kept the ball in there. It would have gone out for a goal kick. By doing that, he keeps Trinity in possession because he forces a clearance rather than a goal kick.
Yep.
Ozarks a little less organized in doing so. And J.C. Rule able to pick that ball up and keep Trinity in this attacking third.
Of course, the senior players got presented with their mementos for their time here at Trinity. It's theoretically their last home weekend. Maybe a couple more, depending on how things go in the next couple weeks. That's the thing. That's the beauty of college soccer, is that there's always something to play for, right? Because you've got rankings, you've got potential hosting. I was reminded today that the women get preference, so if Trinity wins the right to host both, the women would get preference. Although it is theoretically possible that you could host both.
That'd be a fun weekend.
I would love it. I don't think NCAA would love it, but I would enjoy
Oh,
it.
what a ball.
Beautiful ball across. Great block there. Really well done from Giovanni Casillas.
Yeah, he was in for a second there, Luke Mayfield.
He's running back, too, to make that block. He slides in. He's a midfielder. It's not his... Defending's not his traditional work, but that was great work. Really good pass, too, to find Mayfield. I just don't think he noticed him coming, honestly. He just came up so quickly.
No, and that's a hard one to know that he's coming. You're so focused on who's in the box, where am I putting this ball, am I crossing, am I shooting? In that case, I think he was looking for the back post. Maybe could have been turned in by a player there or go in on its own.
But corner came in near post. Knutson has a go. I think that one actually came off his support
Standing
leg.
foot, yeah. He's got a man on the backside if he can find him.
No, that's great work there
from
Knutson to cut that off.
Keep him
Because I
that
think he
side.
did see him. He just couldn't get the ball over because of the work of Knutson.
I think you're 100% right. And that's one you'd almost rather let the player dribble for a long time and just keep yourself in a position where he doesn't have a more dangerous option. Make it as hard for him as possible. In that case,
Lynch nearly in a bit of trouble there. Good work. Good teamwork from Trinity to get it out.
good recovery. from everybody involved.
Powell's making a run forward. I think he's had to cut too much inside. Right as I say that, though. Found Powell. Players in the box.
It's a good ball.
Well cleared in the end by the Ozarks, the Eagles.
What a touch.
That's a beautiful touch. That's what you want from your center back. Just a nice little touch. Get control.
You know, I think Luke Chandler probably believes that that center back job, besides J.C. Rule, is his. But Tom Whitwell, he's going to have something to say about it after today. I'm sure he's going to want to make a mark, and as a senior, want to be that guy going forward as Trinity's in again.
Oh, that's beautiful work from the Tigers. Louis Instrel, from assist to goal, took advantage of how long the Ozarks player was on the ball.
Yep.
You've got to get rid of it. Just punishes them for a little. It's not even that big a defensive lapse. Honestly, he just stayed on the ball a second too long. Instrel comes in, takes full advantage, and scores. So he adds a goal to his earlier assist. Would help if I look at my Trinity notes and not the Ozarks notes. It's his 6th goal of the season, 7th of his career. He's having a heck of a season for goal scoring as the Englishman.
Yeah, you're right. It's just one touch that makes the difference there. Takes an extra touch. I think if he clears it with that touch before it gets around Instrel, at the very least, it's coming at him a little bit harder to deal with. But he takes a touch trying to play himself forward. He's trying to give himself more space for that clearance. In turn, he basically kind of just passes it straight to Instrel. And Instrel, he's hardly had an easier one this season, you could say.
Yeah, no, easy. Fairly easy goal in the end. Left with just the keeper, but he's still got to place it.
Yep.
You know, I've seen plenty of players in that scenario launch it over the bar or put it too close to the keeper. He just passed it perfectly out of the goalkeeper's reach. That's all you want.
Held his nerve.
Yeah, I would have launched it. I would have launched it or just tapped it so softly that it didn't even reach the goal line.
I would have taken too many touches.
That's also probably something I would have done. Anderson. Shot comes, but it's taken a deflection, vital deflection, because it slowed that down a lot. Gathered in. Yeah, I did see a penalty shootout years and years and years ago. Jeez, how long ago? Would have been about 21 years ago? 22 years ago, where one of the penalty shots did not even reach the goal line.
Wow.
It was It was pouring rain. It was the last ever NSL Grand Final in Australia. It went to penalties. And I want to say it was Nick Merger, who was a name that no one else on this broadcast is going to remember. His penalty did not even make the goal line because he hit it along the ground. And the pitch was so waterlogged that it couldn't run.
Good press from Trinity here. Keeping the ball up the field. Ozarks had a few chances to clear it, but kept in by Zach
Offside.
Anderson and Adam Knutson and Hunter Kane.
But just that last ball offside. Paul McGinley's still calling for more from his team right now. It's going to be a goal kick.
I think Coach McGinley is justified in that as well, because I think Trinity are in a position where they could put this game to bed before halftime. Yeah. You know, 15 minutes in, they've got 2 goals. If they continue that trajectory, that's 6 in the first half. That's game over. They don't even need to do that much to start asking questions of Ozark of, well, what are we still playing for here?
Yep. Yeah, 100%. It's important to keep pushing and fighting to keep getting those goals. But goal difference isn't the tiebreak. I know that for sure. Good gather by the keeper. You got to go in front of the keeper when you're running in like that. Because if you go behind the keeper, he's going to get it every time. Like your odds are better if you go in front of the keeper. It's not that he could miss it, but the odds are he's going to gather it. And you always want to play the odds. Every sport's a percentage game, right? So you put the percentages in your favor. That goes over the top into the Ozarks women team. They will get restarted with the throw for the Eagles. Of course, it's the first meeting between the two teams. Ozarks' first season in the SCAC. Trinity's last season in the SCAC. So this might be the only meeting between these two teams for a while. It's a challenging place to travel to. So, Clarksville, Arkansas. Which I'll be honest, I had not heard of until I was doing my notes for this one. You can hear that wind picking up in our mics. And it might just, honestly, this might be doing enough to blow those rain clouds away.
Maybe. It's also blowing in Trinity's favor right now, which they'll definitely take.
Yeah, they're playing with the wind. Beautiful ball there from Minstrel. They pulled for Powell. Back-heeled it, but there wasn't a teammate to gather it. Good skills, though.
Yep, just got too deep there. That's not the position you want to be receiving the ball if you're Will Powell.
We're just going to stop the clock because there's a player down for the Ozarks. We are going to make that. They are going to make the sub. I think it's a sub they're already planning on making. Trainer's just coming on to take a look. Not quite sure. I completely missed what happened here, but I'm guessing there was some sort of head knock. So hopefully everything will be okay. We don't mess around with it. I think NCAA, this is one of the things where NCAA is ahead of the curve on.
Yep.
Like NCAA
They're doing it right.
Been
They're doing it right.
taking head injury protocol very seriously. They've been doing it before anybody else was doing it. They don't mess around. And so I don't know if that's what this is, but if it is, NCAA do take it seriously. I think they're really ahead of the curve on world football in this. We'll actually see here what happened here. Yeah, something's up.
He's just gone down behind the play.
No, I think something's up with like his leg or something. I don't know. I'm not a doctor.
It makes me think it was something that happened earlier.
Yeah, it
that
looked like he might have
continued on.
overextended.
Yep.
But, you know. But, so he was able to walk off. So that's the main thing. And so they've made that sub now. Keeper goes long. Does Caleb Anderson. Didn't run through the lineups. We'll get a chance eventually to run through what those starting 11s were. Good throw forward. Needs some support in the box, though. It's starting to arrive for the Tigers, although one of them's Will Powell, who isn't the tallest target.
No, but that build-up from Trinity was really clean. They were in a tough spot. Powell receiving it with pressure on his back, and he plays it through to Zach Anderson, who gets it through to Instrel, who gets it all the way out here. Playing in really, really tight spaces there, Trinity, and still having success. It's impressive.
And a throw-in, and in this kind of position, a throw-in's basically a corner. But I feel like Chandler's their usual long throw taker.
Knutson is.
Knutson absolutely launched that one. Oh, beats one. Has to go himself! Oh! You know what? I think if that was a yard further back, it's got enough curl in it.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's beautiful all around from Knutson here. This footwork.
Sucked him in beautifully.
That's what gives him the space to have the shot then. So close.
Just not enough curve on it. I do think if that's a yard further back, it's in the back of the net.
Yep.
Keeper wouldn't have been able to do anything. I'll run through the lineups. Just 2 changes for Trinity. I'll just run through the changes. Lynch comes in for Sat Pathy. You know, it's
senior night.
His last weekend. I think that's a pick-up. And then Luke Chandler is out because he's suspended, picked up 2 yellows on Sunday. He is replaced by Mark Donnelly. For Ozarks, Vicente Urdaneta comes in for Harper Branch. Juan De La Rosa, who plays goalkeeper and midfield in a fascinating combination. He's playing midfield. He comes in for Chris Rodriguez. And then Eduardo Argueta comes in for Victor Escobedo. So those are your changes. I want to say the player that came off earlier. Yeah, I'm not sure actually who it was. I missed the number. I think it might have been Brock Bernard who came off. No, it was Tegan Schnorr, 21, who had the knock, I believe. So free kick here for the Tigers. So we get through those lineups. Aaron Bruckner's the coach of the Ozarks. He was the USC West Region Coach of the Year in 2020, which was a difficult year to be a coach. Difficult year for all of us.
It's an interesting place for a set piece.
Step over. Goes deep. Headed across the face. Anything can happen.
Still in there.
Header comes.
Wow.
Offside, though, yeah. You could tell that he thought he was off. He heads it home, does mark Donald. It's what you got to do. But he immediately looked to the AR, who immediately put their flag up. So I think even he knew he was probably off. You've still got to finish it, though. So we'll have a look here. Yeah, he's offside, he's offside, he's offside. He's still off. He's even more off now. Yeah, offside pretty convincingly. He knew it. That's a resignation, not a frustration of the referee for me. But you got to put it away.
And he did.
You never know. Someone could be behind you who played you back on.
It's a really good set piece in the end from Trinity,
it really
though.
worked out. That's what you want from those kind of set pieces. If you're hitting it deep, you want someone to hit it back into the box.
Yeah, they created chaos. And I've said it all season. If you create chaos in the box, good things happen.
That was a catchphrase of now former San Antonio FC coach Alan Marcina, who was let go this week. Let go yesterday, actually.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I thought that might be the case after this season.
They didn't make the playoffs. I had a chat with him on Saturday, though, and he was... this was not what he was expecting, is what I'll say. Although he did start his discussion with a bit of what sounded like something that I thought was a resignation. So maybe he did think it was coming and he was just putting on a brave face for the presser. But yeah, so San Antonio FC looking for a new coach. It's all happening in the Alamo City. Had the NWSL Summer Cup final last week too. Switch comes. Good work from Rule.
Trinity doing really well to keep Ozarks on their back foot, keep forcing them to put clearances in, which they don't want to do. They want to play out, but not able to do so far in this one.
Anderson stayed with it pretty well. Earns the foul. Play it quick. Was the call. There's Donnelly, who scored the disallowed goal. Or didn't score the disallowed goal. Had it in the back of the net.
Another corner.
Corner kick again. That's the third of the evening.
The set pieces have been good from Trinity today. Scored from 2. Only one of them counted.
And then Tice and Smith coming in. Cam Smith's been starting a lot of games this year. Seems to have fallen out of favour in the...
Yeah, Ty Jarrett has kind of taken that spot.
In place of Ty Jarrett. But he has plenty of time in his career. He's only a sophomore.
Tice goes in for Kane, so he'll probably be that new number 9.
Yeah, Tice has often been that sort of sub, that first, second man up. Short corner again. This time it works a bit better for the Tigers.
You might have a hit.
Creates some space. Has a go, like you said. Shots blocked. Another chance. Stays in. They're going to not want him to turn. Yeah, handball. Look.
In the box like that.
In the box where it falls right to your feet, as a referee, you have to call that. You can't. I know there's not a lot of intent, and I know with the way the law is written now that, like, well, his hands were close in. I think they're probably far enough out, but look, in the box, if it falls right to your feet like that, you've got to call it.
No, and I think the law is designed now to benefit defenders. If that's a defender, it might not get called. But an attacking player in the attacking box, they're going to call it. They don't want handballs to lead to goals. They're much more okay with it leading to stops. Yeah,
I mean, like, look, your goal as a referee is to make as few controversial calls as possible. So talk about it sometimes, you know. If there's a contest on the goal line and you're not sure who it came off last, you're probably just going to give it as a goal kick because it's less controversial. I was at a game where the center referee walks over to the fourth and he goes, "What happened?" He goes, "I don't know, but you've got to do something." So, you know, sometimes he has a go.
Spilled.
Spilled.
Oh, what a save.
That's a beautiful recovery. Stunning recovery from Caleb Anderson.
Wow. He put himself in a terrible spot there. That's not where you want to be as a goalkeeper.
I think it's the bounce that kind of did it. But that is great goalkeeping. My word.
His teammates don't really know how to react. Ecstatic about the first or the second save, but not about the first one.
Yeah, you know what though?
I don't blame him. I think you're right. The bounce.
I think the bounce got him. He was already heading down to make the save. I'm not gonna. As a proud member of the goalkeepers union, I am not gonna fault him on that save. He recovered beautifully. It's what you want from your goalkeeper. Swung in.
Oof.
A lot of bodies. Cleared away. Controlled by Instrel.
Counters on. That's an important tackle from Cade.
Yeah, it was potentially getting away with the long ball through. And now those players, you tall defenders that come up for the corner, come back. Lou Instrel's on an Eric Husley hat trick. He's got an assist and a goal. He won't want the other part of that though.
What's the other part?
It's a red card. Assist, goal, red card. Eric Husley hat trick. It's like the Gordie Howe hat trick in NHL. So a goal, an assist, and a fight.
That's a good one. Goal and assist and a fight. As a hockey player, that's a big accomplishment.
Good switch. Well. Oh, I thought he was shaping to shoot there. He was, you know. Puts it in for Dugan. Has a go.
Whoa. That's a good effort.
Keeper
really
saves.
Good effort.
Good save again from Caleb Anderson. I just pulled it up. He, coming in this one, had made 21 saves this season. It's not quite that NCAA record for a single game, which I still can't get over. 55 saves in a single game.
Something like that.
But,
ridiculous.
He has made 159 saves in his career, the senior. So
see if they go short again here. Cam Smith makes the late run.
Smith comes in for it. I believe Smith scored a goal this season from a short corner. So
yeah, actually, they just took it on the other side. Where he took the shot, got the overlap from Minstrel, put it bottom corner. Ozarks were prepared for it. They probably saw that goal on film.
I suspect they did. Another corner though. They're adding up 7 corners tonight.
Yep. And Trinity again, very dangerous from set pieces today.
Caleb Anderson as well was all-state in high school, so he was unquestionably the single best goalkeeper in Oklahoma. He was an honorable mention all-conference recently for the Ozarks, so not SCAC, but he has had some good seasons. Just couldn't get around it, but it's still alive. John Connerule heads it home.
What an interesting goal.
Yeah, I mean, it just didn't get clear. So a few Trinity players had to go and couldn't put it away.
I think Tice does really well, actually, to keep the ball in play. Because keeper's claiming that, and Tice just keeps it alive. That's just effort play from Tice right there. He wins that goal for Trinity. That's really, really hard work, and oftentimes that's going to go unnoticed because keeper's just going to go and claim that anyway. So really well done from Tice to give Rule that opportunity.
I feel like it's something that Trinity breeds really well here over all the years. It's like the ball's not, you don't give up on the ball until it's out.
Until the whistle.
So, you know, ball was still in play. Tice made sure of it. So goal for John Connerule, 4th of the season, 11th of his career. Could be his final regular season goal. We'll see. He won't want it to be. Still got another game this weekend. But it's definitely his last season. And then Tice with the assist.
Somehow stayed with Ozarks there. Wow.
That is Tice's 5th assist.
He's been good off the bench, providing a lot of opportunities for his teammates.
Yeah, he transferred in from San Diego. But so far his actual regular season, because I believe he played in a spring season with San Diego in his first year, but didn't see the field in the one that counts for stats. So I don't have any stats on his spring season, unfortunately. But he's also, AP scholar, won 2 state championships in high school, so he's coming in. That's at Bernie too. Bernie's got a really good program. Not too far from here, if you're not familiar. Bernie's pretty close to San Antonio. Good chance there for Donaway. He'll want one. He'll want one bad because he had that disallowed goal. So that win comes back. That win that I just said had probably pushed away the rain chances.
Might be pulling it back in.
Pushing them back to us.
Yeah, I think Donnelly could have had a shot there. I think he took one too many touches, but the space opened up for him maybe just a little bit too far from goal for him to be comfortable taking it on from there. I'm convinced Knutson would have had a hit there, though.
Knutson would absolutely have had a hit from there. Ozarks have the shot after the whistle, which, I can't blame someone. If you can put the ball in the back of the net, you can...
make an argument.
You can say, hey, if you see that ball hitting the back of the net, it starts to feel a lot better than where you're at. 3-0 down are the Ozarks. Just under 15 minutes to play here in the first half. Chris Hockman and Scott Lebo with you for Tiger Network. Controlled by Smith. Good slide from Smith. He's got to be careful. Did really well there too because he was awkward trying to get up. And in those kind of scenarios, you can foul your opponent when you're trying to get up. So
it got stuck in between the two legs of the Ozark player, and if he stands straight up there, he's going to end up on his back or something like that.
They made sure to just basically lay there for a little bit. Yeah, a little push in the back. Same call that happened up here. Referee's being nothing but consistent with that all day. But I do think the wind has pushed the rain threat away.
Yeah, it looks much clearer.
Much better now than it was looking when we started.
We could use some rain in general.
Well, it's supposed to rain basically all day tomorrow, so
that's awesome.
That's the most ideal situation. There's nobody's playing at home for Trinity. And we'll get some extra water into the pitch, which has been dry.
Yep. Might have affected the save we were talking about a little bit ago.
True. Did rain this week though, so
just a little bit here. I mean, I was walking from upper campus where all the classrooms are to the gym when it started drizzling, and by the time I left the gym, which was 10 minutes later, the rain had stopped and the ground was wet. So it rained for like 15 minutes here, and that's about it.
I got caught in the rain up in the northern side of San Antonio on a run.
On a run?
It was not a fun second half of my run.
I have run in the rain as well, and I actually enjoy that as well. You just got to get rid of your shirt. It's very heavy at that point.
Nobody wants to see that. I can promise you nobody. That was just me doing a public service, leaving that wet shirt on. Don't forget, elections on Tuesday, speaking of public service.
That's a great tackle.
Yeah, Ozarks defensively haven't been... I know the scoreline says 3-0, but they haven't been poor defensively. They've just been outplayed.
No, I do think it's set pieces that have
that's true.
Created it for Trinity. One giveaway at the back provides Louis his goal, and then two off of set pieces.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's why you want to avoid giving up those set-piece situations. Good ball, far post. Keeper's going to come, though. Good gather from Anderson. Hoofed away. Both players grabbing each other there, so you just don't call anything. Both teams wanted a foul there. Whereas I think both players just slipped, honestly.
Yeah, it didn't look like there was much in that.
No, I think they watered the pitch this morning, maybe late afternoon. Because there was definitely some dampness around when I arrived this afternoon. Rule. Appeal for a handball. There was nothing there for me. I think he got him in the chest, but I can understand the appeal. It was close.
This is a tough position here for Trinity because Ozarks are set up really well back there. That's a great run as well to break it down because that's the problem that Trinity were having. Everybody was marked. There was no movement. JC Rule got on the ball a few times, didn't have any options, no movement in front of him. So that's an absolutely crucial run there to open something up. It gets Trinity forward. Now they're in a much better position. Ozarks are pinned a little further back.
The subs coming for both teams. We've got Chris Rodriguez coming in for Ozarks. Then Sal O'Brien I saw coming on. Joey Perryman.
Whole new
coming
center
on.
back
And then
duo.
Ethan Cowdrey, all 10 feet of him. No, he's, what is he, 6'7"?
6'7".
Look at me get it right. 6'7".
Something you hardly see with any team, let alone Trinity. Both center backs going off
Subbed off at the same time.
at the same time. Both being off at the same time, period, is hard to find in modern soccer. Center backs typically play that whole game or close to it.
Yeah, I mean, look, in college soccer, obviously, you've got a lot more opportunities
Yep.
to make subs. Like in professional soccer, you can only make 5 subs in 3 windows. You probably...
Well, I wonder how many times this year has JC Rule played the entire game, start to finish?
That might be something I will look up at halftime. Because, well, let me see. I can tell you his minutes for the season. He has played 1330 minutes coming into this game. That's 16 games.
16 games.
I think we're both running to our calculator app.
That's 1330 out of 1440. So it's close to all of them. Close to every minute of every game. Not quite. Somebody's fallen in the midst there.
Yeah, not quite. So the call is it's a free kick for Trinity, but just looked like one of those things that happens, you know?
I think you'll often see those called, though, when a body falls in the chaos of a set piece
although
like
in
that.
this scenario, it ended up being a goal kick anyway. It would have been a goal kick anyway, so it doesn't really change anything. Like, 'cause you could almost wait and just see what happens, and then be like, all right.
It's great footwork from Perryman.
Perryman's done that a lot this year. Good save with his legs from Anderson.
Yeah, that's where you want to shoot it if you're Perryman, but I think
He had a better option.
I also think, I don't know if the cutback, he could have gotten it across there, maybe defenders in the way or something like that, but he could have used the goalkeeper to get that cross across. If he shoots it same spot, just a little bit more power. You don't know where it's going to go then. The way, not enough power on it then, goalkeeper has a little bit more control of where it goes.
I thought the referee was just calling something because he did have his arm out, but looks like he didn't call anything. Swung in, well, hit powerfully right at the keeper. That might have been a shot. I thought he was crossing it. Keeper's got to be careful. He's getting real close to the edge of the area. It is where the ball is that matters, not where you are. But if you as a goalkeeper, if you come all the way out to the edge of the area and you swing the ball out and it's in your hands, it's a handball.
It's a great ball.
Really good ball. Just a little too much heat on it.
Yeah, I don't know that ball could have come off. It's a great idea to look for it and a perfect execution in terms of where he passes it. But I think the Ozark defense was prepared for it, and I don't know that pass could have come off given how well defended.
I think, yeah, given the running options too, it was a little telegraphed. If I can tell that's what's happening, it can be a bit obvious. So free kick here.
A bit of afters there. The whistle's blown for a free kick for Ozarks, and Perryman goes in and gets clattered in the back of his leg. Not happy about that.
So Ozarks have a couple players actually that are on suspension watch. So Bailey Sawyer and Tegan Schnorr. I think Adrian Garcia is suspended for this one. For Trinity, Luke Chandler's already suspended. Adam Knutson is 1 yellow away from a suspension. Tom Whitwell is a yellow away from suspension. Will Powell is also a yellow away from suspension. So,
Some important players.
yeah, you would rather them miss Centenary than miss the first game next week in the playoffs.
Yeah, you say you talked to Coach McGinley before the game about that, right?
Yeah, so he was saying that we were asking if players might be ripping their shirts off in the middle of the game to get a yellow.
Intentionally
take a yellow, so they'll take the suspension now. And he said, no, he's not expecting any players to aim to get a yellow or anything.
What a goal.
Why is it talking about that? Back of the net.
What a goal.
Good ball across. just something out of nothing. That came from a long way back.
Wow.
Kason Dilworth with the assist. Lays it off for Samuel Tice.
Yeah, it's a great ball over the top for Dilworth. I didn't think he was going to get there. He just does. Has to jump up on the wall after the fact, and then the deftest of touches to tuck that at that far post.
Dilworth,
Unbelievable.
first assist of his career. And then for Samuel Tice, 4th goal of the season for him.
What a performance from Tice today. Coming off the bench, goal and an assist.
Goal and assist.
2 scrappy goals as well.
I was thinking that Instral's going to take some beating for player of the game tonight because he has a goal and assist, but Tice off the bench has claimed. I think you would give it to Instral because it's senior night.
Yep.
And they've both got the same performance right now. If Tice can do it.
We'll see. I'll probably be interviewing one of them after the game.
I've got a feeling it's going to be one of them. Cross to the Trinitonian. Offside is the call. It might have even been from the 4th. Because I see the 4th talking in the earpiece. There's no way it's that close. So he's got to go back. So you can't be offside in your own half. And so that can be a confusing call sometimes for folks because he comes back and he gets it in his own half, but he was offside because of the position he had taken up in his opponent's half. That's where the offside flag happens. And so it can be confusing if you're watching and you go, oh, hang on. You can't be offside in your own half. He wasn't offside in his own half. He was in the other half. He came back into his own half. That's what makes you offside.
Yeah, offside is done when the ball is played, not when it's received.
Yep. So, it was played. He was offside. He wasn't involved in the play until he came back and touched it. That's why the flag was late. But right decision. And so that's why sometimes you'll see that. It looks confusing, but it's the correct call. He came back from an offside position. See it all the time. You'll often see referees or assistants signaling with their hands that he come back. Because where he gathers the ball onside, but it wasn't when the ball was played he came back.
Let me ask you then, you'll probably know this.
Yeah.
Where does a free kick go in a case of offside? Because I've had it played a number of different ways. I've had a ref put it where the player was when he was offside. I've had the ref put it where the defensive line was, and I've had the ref put it where the ball was played.
Yeah, it's where the player was. So you play it where the player was. There's a couple of exceptions to that. If it's in the 6-yard box, you can play it anywhere in the 6-yard box. But that's basically it. You play it where the player was offside.
Gotcha.
And so the easy way to understand that is you can't be offside in your own half, right? You can't be offside in your own half. And so if you were going to play it where the player touches the ball, you could then end up with a scenario where someone's flagged offside, but the free kick takes place in the attacking half, which is impossible. So it's where the player was when they were in an offside position.
That was always my least favorite. I've had a few refs who have called it where the players touched it and lost us so much space in terms of positioning because the player touches the ball way down in the corner even though he was offside near halfway.
Yep, it's where the player was offside. That's where the ball gets played. So that's exactly what they called here, right?
Yep.
They went back, it was where he was offside.
Tice is in an interesting position here. Watch for a ball back across to him. I think that's what they were looking for.
I think that was the plan. It's a throw-in, as signaled by the ball boy. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Trinity 4, Ozarks 0. I'm going to look up that tie break, actually. I'm pretty sure it's goals conceded. But I'm going to double check it. If they'll tell me, which...
I'm not sure what the set piece here is for, but I'm not the ref. I don't have the best view from here, so...
Well, it's not goals against because Trinity's conceded more. So it might be goals for in conference play.
That would be great for Trinity.
Yeah, they
Scored quite a few goals.
lead that. They were on 28 coming into this. SCAC has them above Colorado College in the standings, so that will give them the tiebreak. So I believe it's goals for.
Into the final minute here.
Could be just a straight goal difference too, because they do lead that. It's 23-20 on goal difference. Might need to keep an eye on what's happening with Colorado College, because that is the only team that can.
What a flick ball. Smith laid off well.
Perryman, shape to shoot, opened up the space to have a go.
He should have had the shot. He had the space for it, and that was an incredible buildup, and now they're on the counter.
Oh, that's a beautiful touch from Cowdrey. Called upon again. Great work from Smith to run back and get it as we hit the final 10 seconds. Trinity just want to keep hold of the ball at this point.
A little bit of an escape there for the Tigers.
Yeah, got away with the one there. I think it's something for Ozarks to take heart. You know, like they can create chances. They've had a few. But it's half time. It's 4-0. Just to update you on the Colorado College game, because that is an impact on who's going to win. They are currently 3-0 up against Austin College at home. So right now, the Tigers would still be holding the tiebreak. I believe they both get awarded the regular season title. They'll be called co-conference regular season champions. But Trinity would get the #1 seed for the tournament. That is my understanding. I'm going to get some clarification on that at halftime. But as things stand right now, Trinity 4-0 up on University of the Ozarks at halftime. You can see statistically dominant performance of Tigers. 26 shots to 2, 11 on target to 1, 8 saves. Been pretty good saves. 6 fouls to 4. That's pretty even. 1 offside. It was the disallowed goal. We'll have a look at these goals though. Instraw, that was a beautiful flicked on header. Back to goal off the back of his head. Open the scoring for the Tigers.
Yeah, goalkeeper's not prepared for that. It's a ball. It's an in-swinger to the back post. Goalkeeper has to set himself a little differently, so that flick is really dangerous there.
And then he becomes the goal scorer himself. Well taken. This goal, though, this is really great. Great example of just don't give up on a ball, right? And comes out, falls favorably for Rule, who puts it away. That made it 3. And then again, turns goal scorer. That was a good ball across. I think the goalkeeper thought it was out of play. It wasn't. Stayed in. And so that's where we are at halftime. 4-0. We'll be back in about 13 minutes for the second half. We hope you'll stay with us. Welcome back. Second half about to get underway. We've corrected the stats. We had some old stats. So that's actually the stats. That looks a little better. But
Still pretty dominant.
You were saying, Scott, that you're not surprised. The possession, the quadrant that most of the game has been played in, is Trinity's attacking third. Or attacking quarter, I guess I should say. 53% of Trinity's 64% has been in the Trinity attacking quarter. 42% of the Ozarks' possession has been in their defensive quarter, so not unsurprising.
Just about what you'd expect.
Yep. 2 offsides to 1.
Whole scale changes for the Tigers coming into the second half, at least in terms of talking about lineups that started the game and lineups that are starting right now.
Yeah. Perryman stayed on after his first half, but he only played like the last 10 minutes. There's a few players that played like the last 10.
Yep.
Look, when you're 4-0 up, you've got that luxury. The reality is, so I did go over the tie breaks at halftime. It is fewest goals conceded. You can't concede fewer goals than 0. Trinity would need, let's be honest, a miracle to win that tiebreak. So they are second on the tiebreak. Second seed, so they'll still win. If they win both, they still get to call themselves conference champions, regular season champions. But there's a big chance that it's going to come down to those same 2 teams. So Trinity have conceded 5 conference goals, and Colorado College have conceded 1. So going to need a pretty spectacular turnaround.
And is it Colorado's last game right now?
No, Colorado have 2 to go like Trinity do.
Okay.
But they are 3-0 up, so... But the goals they score don't matter. You just need them to concede goals.
If they win 6-2 both games.
That could actually help out. So... Yeah, the second tiebreak, I didn't actually look that far down. I think then it goes to goals 4? You were lamenting that it should just be goal difference. I don't like goals against as a tiebreak just because it doesn't encourage attacking play. I think the point of a tiebreak is to encourage teams to attack.
Or it should be.
And so...
You use a tiebreaker to encourage what you want to see more of.
What you want to see happen. And so, I don't know, maybe someone's a central defender who makes... Was it you making these rules?
Well, I would have made goal difference, as he just said, so...
That's true. You did say that. So, you know...
I don't know who would have... Jose Mourinho flew in to make that decision.
Lowest goals conceded. The entire Italian Serie A has decided, has been decreed by the Greek side that won the 2004 Euros. The fewest goals scored is a tiebreak. That's a tiebreak. Look, and everybody knows coming in, so it's not like we're not here saying, "Oh, it's outrageous." No, like that is
everybody knew.
That is the tiebreak. Just not my favorite tiebreak. It's not my least favorite tiebreak. I have a least favorite tiebreak.
Is it fair play?
No, I love fair play because I think it's the most ridiculous thing.
It's very fun.
It's so fun. The last game of the season, you're like, well, if this guy gets it, if there's one more yellow card in this game. No, I'm cool with that because, one, I think you want to encourage fair play.
Yep.
Opportunity here. How's it go?
Decent effort.
I think it might have just been heading wide, but that's from my angle.
I think from my angle, it looks like it's going in. It's a really good save. He was moving a lot. I think that's where the issues come for the keeper.
Wind is picking up again too. We're having a look at it. Maybe this angle will be better.
Nope, I think you're right.
I think it is still going wide, but I think as a goalkeeper, you've still got to make that save.
Yep.
Because you can't take any chances. So I think it's the right decision to make the save.
Especially with that much movement on it, you don't want it to at the last second just swerve into your own net.
Yeah, it's a physical contest there. Maybe an opportunity if they can spot this run right. Yep, they will.
It's a great tackle by Cade Dugan, though, just to slow it down.
Ball falls favorably. Good block from Calgary's a hard player to shoot around. Very tall.
It's a lot more competitive start to the second half, though.
I feel like the Ozarks started the first half well, actually.
They did.
They just didn't make a count. Corner kick. It's their second of the game. No, so my least favorite tiebreak wins.
That's fair.
Because if you are level on points and you have more wins, that means you also have more losses.
Yep.
And no one would make losses the tiebreak. But that's exactly what you're doing if you make wins the tiebreak.
Well,
Did well to close his legs.
This is a terrible thing then, because the club soccer playoffs are decided by win percentage, not by points percentage, not by points, win percentage. So you get rewarded for more losses in that system.
Seething.
We were very, very upset about it. Part of the reason we didn't make the playoffs.
Outrageous.
Yep.
I'll be writing a letter to the club soccer. I don't even know what the organization name is.
Neither do I.
Well, Trinity, second in D3. Oh, just couldn't get around it enough.
Oh.
Could Bailey Sawyer. He's going to call a foul.
Wow.
Oh, no, offside is the call. So Trinity are second in the country on win-loss tied percentage, .906. I think there's one team. I think the team above them has 1,000 is their win percentage, win-loss tied percentage.
Trinity have started this second half a little sloppy. They made a lot of changes at halftime. It's going to happen, but it's not the way they would have wanted this first half to start. They've had some moments, Ozarks have, with potential opportunities that have really come off the back of Trinity mistakes. Not enough on that pass to find Dilworth, and now the counter's on. Not the ball he's looking for.
It is Mary Washington leads win-loss tied percentage, .912. Does
Good
mean
clearance.
if they lost, Trinity would be number one. Took touch.
I think one of the problems Trinity are having right now is too many of their attacking players are really high up the field. And obviously, when you've scored a lot of goals, you feel like you can create that space. But I think the defensive players that are in the game right now are not necessarily as confident with the ball at their feet, and they don't want to have to play these long balls through defenders to try and find their attacking threats. They want players checking back to them more, giving them easy passing options, and that's just not on right now. It's making it really hard for Trinity to get out.
But, throw in. It's going to be another throw for the Ozarks.
Inching their way up the field here. This is a good spell of possession from the Ozarks here. Created something out of a pinball of headers. Good ball in. Only finds Sal O'Brien. And then that's really good work from Dilworth there to keep that ball in play. Get Trinity out of their own half. But it continues to be an issue right now. Getting stuck in their own half. Can't get the ball away. Can't maintain possession.
Blocked again. This one stayed in. Chance here for the Ozarks. So I should say that. Team that is leading in win-loss tied percentage, which is Mary Washington, did lose their last game, actually. But it was against Virginia, who is Division 1. So it doesn't count.
Corner kick.
And so that's how they stay ahead despite having one loss, because that loss doesn't count for that stat. Because it was against a Division 1 school, University of Virginia. Still put 2 on them, though. They got Christopher Newport on Saturday. If they lose that, Trinity will be number 1 in that stat. Corner kick again. It's been a good run of corners for the Ozarks. They want to put one away. Goes in too close to Josh Lynch, who claims.
Based on the trends of the game right now, I would not be surprised if Ozarks get one back pretty soon here. They've been playing really well in possession, combining well, creating a lot, and Trinity have not looked comfortable yet in this second half.
Is that just a case of Trinity using combinations they haven't played a lot?
I would say so. It's one thing when you sub in these guys at different times and they get to mix in with a starting lineup, but right now there's not a lot of that leadership presence that has gotten consistent minutes. JC's not in the game. That's happened very rarely this season. Tom Whitwell's not in the game, another senior in there. I mean, how many seniors are even on the field right now for Trinity?
Yeah, that's a good point. I suspect Whitwell won't come back on. Powell probably won't.
Nope.
Just because they're on that suspension trouble if they pick up another card. Not that there's really been much threat of it, but I just don't know if you risk them.
No, yeah. And honestly, it doesn't look like there's much movement at all on the bench. No seeming plans of changes to come.
Yeah, it's a luxury you have when you're 4-0 up, is you can take time and do that.
No, and I think at this point in the season, this is a really good opportunity. I think often in games where you can put in younger guys, that happens more consistently in the early parts of the season. But if you can get some of these guys consistent minutes today, they're going to feel better going into playoffs. And if you have to call on them in a big-time situation, they're going to have a little bit more comfort on the field because of it, especially in a situation like this where there's no leader on the field. Somebody's going to have to step up, make a name for themselves over the next 33 minutes here to keep Trinity at the level that they want to be at. And that type of player, that type of difference, it will help them in the future, whether that's this year in the playoffs with a substitution or in the future beyond that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Push up! Push up! Push up!
This is a much better spell right now from Trinity.
Yeah, good little passage of possession. They'd like it probably further up the field, but look a little more dangerous with it.
Yep. I agree. I just think right now they're building some confidence, which is going to help them a lot. I think they started really slow and uncomfortable, and it looks less like that right now.
Yeah, and maybe that's just growing into it. You
Yep.
know, it's combinations that haven't played a lot together. Good header there from Sal O'Brien. Saunders trying to get the ball forward for Dilworth. Dilworth has an assist today. It's going to be a goal kick, I believe so. Yes.
You know, with Rule and Whitwell graduating this year, there's some big spots open at that center back position coming up. So for O'Brien and Cowdery to be in the game right now, this is a huge opportunity. Not just for this year, but looking at next year as well.
Yeah, as we look at, just kind of running through, Owen Hoy, first-year defender.
He's playing right now at that 6 role that drops in between the two center backs in possession.
Baltov, also a first-year defender. Cam Smith is listed as a defender, but really plays midfield.
And that's where Baltov is playing right now. He's playing that outside wing-back role, which is really more of a midfield job.
Obviously, Luke Mayfield is going to play next year. Ethan Cowdery could come into that. Mayfield has played 16 games this season. Not a senior. Jack Castro, I suspect, won't be the man to come in. It's nice to see Salvador O'Brien getting more time because he's been someone they've been wanting to look at. They haven't had a ton of time to look at, but is in that conversation, right, to replace. So that's an option. Daniel Akidi's played a bit this year in his first season in college soccer.
The unfortunate thing, I think, for Trinity, and obviously they have plenty of time to figure it out going forward, but Luke Chandler unable to play right now. I think if I were Coach McGinley, I'd want to see how each of these players work with Luke Chandler,
yeah.
going in for next year, because he is not a senior. He'll be returning, and I'm sure that he'll have his name on that first 11 at least to start the season next year. You never know what could happen beyond that, but
yeah. Well, I suspect Chandler will play. He's only had, but he would also be in. So the annoying thing for Trinity with this rule for SCAC
yep.
is that Chandler is suspended today, but he's immediately on yellow card trouble.
Yep.
Because that would be his third yellow card. So he gets suspended for the red, but then potentially gets suspended. Plays one game and is then suspended immediately if he picks up a yellow. It's a hard thing to balance. 3 yellow cards across the whole season. It's hard to...
Especially as a defender who's playing as much as Chandler is.
Yeah, and look, I think a lot of us understand why this rule change came in. That's all I'll say about it. But maybe a rethink next year. Won't matter for Trinity. They're not going to be in SCAC. So this is the only season they have to deal with it. But I'm sure there are plenty of other schools that have got to be managing their rosters and thinking 3 yellow cards, really? There is a goalkeeper who has had, I want to say, 9 yellows this year as a goalkeeper, which essentially means he's gotten a yellow card in every conference game, which is astounding to me. Because you'd be suspended for 2 of the 9. So just astounding.
I'm not sure how you do that as a goalkeeper, besides a lot of time wasting.
I mean, or you straight up go studs up into someone.
It's true.
But yeah, genuinely intrigued. And I don't know if it's refereeing at a particular venue is just more...
Thought that was coming for me.
None of the players that you annoy in classes is on the field right now. That's why it dropped just enough. This man's showing me up, getting good grades. Got to take him down a notch.
Well, it was an Ozarks player aiming for us that time.
That's true. It wasn't Ozarks player.
It wasn't intentional. When a Trinity guy fires it over here, it's got to be intentional.
Especially if they're a junior.
Yes, especially.
Goes far
What a ball.
post.
Oh.
Just bounced in front. Goes out for a goal kick.
Yeah, it would have been a really good opportunity to cut that ball back across the face for those late runners.
Yeah, I think the bounce just kind of got away from him there. So a goal kick for the Eagles. 27 to go. I think it'd be unfair if they pulled a goal back. They've looked good here in the second half.
No, I think you're right. I think at least for that first 10 minutes they deserved it. Trinity have weathered the storm a little bit. I think the worst of it has come and gone from a Trinity's perspective, but you never know. And as you can see there, things can change really quickly. Trinity's had a long spell of possession now. Boom, all of a sudden, Ozarks straight up the field, short corner.
There's good pressure there from Salinas that made the corner. Swung in, only to the Trinity players. Cleared away, looking to control here. Tight contest, gathered well by Cosby. Cosby goes wide for Schnorr. Cleared away. And now maybe a chance Perales. Looking at options, it looks like he's going to go himself. Got too close to the defender, who dealt with it. It's going to run out. It's going to come off a Trinity boot, though, so it's going to be a throw for the Eagles.
You know, in a situation like that, I think I'd back the defender 9 times out of 10, especially if it's a 9 in that situation. I think, Aiden Perales, great goal scorer, but the strength of his game, he does not want to face somebody up and run at them like that. And on the other hand, center backs have to be able to do that consistently. But here's a chance for Perales. This is more his style of play.
Cuts it, edge of the area. Chance for the shot.
Ooh.
Good block there from Cosby. I don't know if he knew a ton about it, but he got in the way, and that's all he has to do. Perryman tries to open up space. Tried for the pass. It's going to be a free kick. Tried to play advantage. But, yeah, Perryman just stuck his leg out a little too long there. So it's a free kick for the Eagles.
Warm up. Lincoln,
some of those big-name starters that maybe we didn't expect to see coming up, looking like they're going to come back in. Might be because they're seniors, and
it is,
or for the most part, they're seniors.
One of the 2 senior nights. Ozarks just working around there. That's a good ball. Really good gather there from Salinas. Gathered again beautifully from Sawyer. Sawyer swings it in. Dealt with by Trinity. Cleared across the face, but it looks like it might fall. No, falls for the Eagles. Schnorr goes out wide. Great decision there from the Ozarks. Swung in. Headed away. Still with the Eagles.
Ozarks right now want to keep the ball in play as well, seeing who's coming into the game. This is a really good chance for them to score before the reinforcements are back in for Trinity.
Oh, good work from Perales. He's got a lot of men. He's going to need to pass. Good little touch, though, from the Eagles defensively, and now maybe a through ball. He's sitting going for it. Just didn't get enough on it. Did Rimbo, who recovers well, though. Tigers. Well, he's shaping across it to switch it, but didn't nearly cut out. But it stays with the Tigers. Dilworth kept it in, sent it forward. It's going to go out for a throw, though.
Yeah, I think it took an unfortunate bounce on its way to Dilworth. He did really well to keep it in as long as he could, and then force them to take a corner from the very nearly the corner flag.
I see Brock Bernard signaling for a sub. I think that's the player who got hurt earlier.
Yeah. I think you're right about that. And Trinity will get 1 sub out of that, correct?
Yeah, they can do a 1. Well, actually, if it's out for a throw, so technically everybody can sub. Because it's out for a throw, so they can all sub if the Ozarks make the sub. And they can bring on multiple because it's not an in-play injury, so they can sub out everybody. This is basically a complete line change for both teams. I'm trying to even figure out who stayed on.
Baltov stayed on.
I think Juan De La Rosa might have stayed on for Ozarks. But yeah, my condolences to our grand announcer James, who had to figure out who all those players were that came on and off.
I think Kay Dugan and Alex Baltov are the only two that
Dugan definitely stayed on. I see him.
I think Baltov's down in the corner. You see him on the screen.
There he is. Number 20, if you were wondering. Powell. Oh, that was a beautiful header. It worked out wonderfully well. Dugan, one of those players that stayed on. We'll say that was a pass.
Sliced at it a little bit. You could say it's a little too high for Knutson.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that was the intention, but you could say it.
Yeah, I think the intention was a shot, but I'll be generous statistically and call it a pass. Attempted through ball. Rule, good example of not quite a sweeper, but a central defender just hanging back a little bit to recover.
I think one thing Rule does really well, and I'll wait till after this attack.
Good ball here over for Powell. Cut back, comes off an Ozarks boot there, I think.
Yep, I believe you're right.
Would have been an own goal. Good save. I think maybe better served to pass this off. That's what he does.
Whitwell could have a hit from here.
He is. I wasn't too far off finding Kane either.
I don't mind it.
Hunter Kane, the leading penalty. Yep, definitely took a... That is a great save. My word. I appreciate it even more in slow-mo.
I didn't even think he got his hand on it at first, which tells you how impressive a save is a lot of the time.
Clearance, not so much, but it works out.
That one's a bit better.
Much better.
But what I was saying with Rule, and you could see it again there, Whitwell goes for the header. As soon as J.C. Rule knows that he's not going to be the one getting the header, he drops. If that ball, if Whitwell mishits it or it gets flicked on somehow, Rule is anticipating the worst. And that's what you're told to do as a defender. You have to anticipate things going wrong. Because if you're not anticipating that, you're out of position. It's the same thing for an attacking player. As an attacking player, you should anticipate things going right, because if they go right and you're not there, you've missed an opportunity.
That's what he does so well, consistently. And then you saw it there again with the roles reversed.
Yeah, I think, and I'm similar to JC in this way, where I much prefer to be the one that drops deep, and I think JC clearly likes to drop deep more. He's consistently that player that does that. I think whether that's because other players like Chandler or Whitwell would prefer to man mark and Rule likes to be in space, whatever the reason, but Rule is consistently the one that's doing that role.
Oh, goes down. Trinity bench got excited. It's going to be a throw-in for the Tigers. Perryman back on pretty quickly, actually. That's what, like a 5-minute break?
Yeah, very, very quick.
So it's changing shape for him because he'll replace Baltov. So we'll see if he's moving to a different position or they're moving someone else to a different position. Throw in here, Will Powell. Throws in edge of the area for Perryman, so his first touch is immediate. Beats one. Cuts across the face.
Kane.
Keeper's missed it. Kane puts it away. Shouldn't say keeper missed it. Keeper made the save.
Oh, and look who's in the corner there. Joseph Curry and Jack Downs graduated last year.
Yeah, a lot of alumni in town. So Hunter Kane scores 11th goal of the season, 26th of his career. But the work from Perryman. Yeah, keeper got a touch to it, but he was completely out of position at that point. His defense didn't do much to back him up there at all, let's be honest. And Kane puts it away, runs to his former teammates.
Yeah, I don't think you can blame a goalkeeper in that situation. No. He's done everything he can. You know, his job, he has to deal with that first ball. He has to make sure that doesn't go in the back of the net. And once he's done that, he's done the best he could to get it away. His defenders need to be the first one to that ball in space, and they're just not. And that's what it comes down to. Hunter Kane beats them all to it.
And continues a great season for Hunter Kane. It's his highest scoring season easily.
In a new position.
Yeah.
Maybe found his new job.
Yeah, there was a lot of talk early in the season about, who's going to take that front spot? You're missing your front two from the previous season. Well, Hunter Kane asked and answered. Put it.
Nobody at the back post.
Just scored again. So I suspect we're going to see him listed as a forward on the squad list next year.
Yeah. Well, he's a senior, is he?
Oh, he is a senior. That's right. And he can't get a 5th season because he wasn't here for COVID.
Yep.
So that's it. But he really adapted to that position well. It's his best scoring season. It's kind of taken up. He says he's a Didier Drogba fan. He's really taken on that Didier role.
Yeah, I think he
converting from midfield.
Plays similar to Drogba,
style.
Just doesn't have the aerial ability maybe that Drogba had. Thinking specifically about that goal in Bayern Munich. I don't think I'd see Hunter Kane scoring that one.
Oh, so now he's going to do it.
If he can manage a flicked header from in front of that near post into that near top corner, props to him.
We had a really beautiful flicked header to open the scoring tonight.
Yeah.
So you never know. We could have a good flicked header again. But yeah, Didier Drogba, of course, Phoenix Rising legend.
Did you hear Neymar might be interested in coming to Inter Miami now, which I'm like,
I don't know how they would manage that with the current roster structure.
No, that's what things were saying that thought the MLS would block it, and then Messi would leave and go somewhere else where he could play with Neymar. And I was like, I don't know that he's going to leave at this point in his career.
Well, he could retire and open up the DP spot.
Yeah, that's true.
Or we could retire and coach San Antonio FC. No, he has no coaching experience. Oh, nearly an Olympico from the corner.
He might have been going for it, the way that's gone over like that.
I think the wind got it.
Maybe.
I don't know if because
the wind's going the other way.
Oh, that is a good point. Yeah, although on that corner flag, it's blowing like...
Interesting.
So...
It's a swirly,
it's a bit swirly.
Interesting wind. I've scored an Olympico.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look, I'll go on about it, but we did have an NCAA game here one time where there was a brace of Olympicos. She had scored a hat-trick of Olympicos in an earlier game. Powell goes to ground. Referee says no. I'm inclined to agree with that. I think the ball was taken out, which took his momentum away.
I think he's the one that cut on the ball. The thing that I would say is I think he might have slipped on his own rather than being fouled, but I do think he's the one that cuts the ball. If he's contacted there, I think it. Oh!
I don't think anyone was expecting that to be as good as it was.
We should know better at this point.
At this point,
when Adam Knutson steps over the ball.
Adam Knutson is frustrated that he's fallen behind in the Golden Boot race, obviously. Let's have a look at this effort. Yeah, that is exactly where Knutson would hit it.
Yep.
Off the post.
It's a strike and a half as well.
Goalkeeper's best friend. He's got to give that post a kiss later today. Although don't. I know where it's been. Out here. It's gross. It's got dirt on it.
Great footwork and strength from Knutson. He had that one goal against Southwestern weave through, and then he gave a kiss to the camera. I think that was for you.
Kiss the camera. Don't know if it was for me.
I'm sure it was for you.
Well, look, I'll take it. Appreciate the love. So Rule on the ball. Wide left here. Tigers, there's a signal for a switch. They play it more flat, which is a little easy to read for the Ozarks, so they get it halfway. Dugan plays wide left. Gets around one, needs to cut it back. Just couldn't do so.
It's one of those, it's really hard. You're driving to the byline. It's easy to slice it and have it coming back towards goal rather than back into play as you want it to.
I think we're about to have an exciting sub. Aiden Roy looks to be getting ready.
I thought he was going to come in here, but...
No, it looked like he was still prepping. But
just a little bit longer.
But I think you'd kind of do this to give Joshua Lynch his round of applause.
Yeah.
We'll see. He may start again on Sunday. But I imagine Seth Pathy's going to start the rest of the season, the playoffs and the NCAA tournament, since he's established himself as the number one.
It's always good to be prepared, though. Last year in the playoffs, had to make a goalkeeper change pretty early on into that second playoff game due to a red card. So having Lynch ready to go in form, it's never a bad.
That's why you bring Roy on, because, look, you never know. You keeper gets injured, then there's a red card. So the keeper, you need all your keepers to be ready to go. We've seen it plenty of times. Goalkeeper gets injured and subbed out, and then there's a red card to the other goalkeeper. And in a lot of games, that's it. You're done. You got to put an outfield player in goal.
Yeah, at the professional level, because you just don't have the bench room.
You're required. Laws of the game require you to have one goalkeeper on the bench. But beyond that, you don't have to have two.
I mean, even today, when the amount of subs on the bench have gone from 7 to 9.
7 to 9, yeah. You're still not going to waste a spot.
Two spots on goalkeepers, when in reality you're probably never going to sub in your keeper at that level,
let alone two goalkeepers.
Yeah.
So, although World Cups you'll always have two goalkeepers on the bench, because at the World Cup it's your entire squad.
Yeah.
So your full 23.
I didn't know that. The whole 23 is available. Is available. I like that.
So you can use anyone you want.
I think they're doing the squad switch.
Squad switch again. Yep. That's what it looks like. Goes out to Powell.
Tice is coming in this time, though. He'll have a chance.
Well, I would have liked the keeper to come out and pick that up, because he could have.
I think you're right. It's hard for me to see right now with all the Trinity
with all the
subs.
players standing. Yeah. Well, it's partly because one of them is an absolute behemoth in Ethan Cowdrey.
Sal O'Brien's pretty tall.
Sal
as well.
O'Brien also not a short man. Yeah.
A real opportunity here, though, for Knutson.
He
wants it.
Surely going to have a hit.
We've seen goals from this sort of range this season. It's really hard to get the ball up and down.
Yeah, in such a short
from
angle.
here, but we've seen it happen at very similar spots in the field.
Yeah, it is Knutson's 50th career game, so I'd like to cap it with a goal.
He left it though. Perryman's going to be the one to strike it.
Yeah, maybe he's going to get on the end of a header. Maybe it's all a ruse. Perryman low. Oh, it's gone through the keeper. He's kept it in. He has kept it in.
It's really interesting. I thought he might go for that far side. When I saw Perryman step over it, I thought, powerful shot towards the goalkeeper's side.
That's not good goalkeeping. Left a big gap.
Gets lucky. He gets lucky.
Gets a big gap. He put enough on it, but you can't leave that big a gap between your body and the ground in that scenario.
Knutsen's going to have a hit.
Has a go. Hits the back of the net. It's the same mistake he just made.
I actually think it's the opposite. I think it bounces in front of
over him.
Yeah. And that, we talked about it, almost happened in the first
Here
half.
we go. We'll get a look at it. Again here. Oh, you're right. Yeah, bounces over him. I still think he's got to do better than that.
I agree. I
think he's got enough time. It's not like the bounce happened directly in front of him. He's got enough time to lift his arm up, like Mark Schwarzer did in 2005.
Standing ovation for the seniors.
Yeah, standing ovation for the seniors as they all come off. That's why you do it. And so Lynch is done. Maybe done? Who knows? 18 games played in his career, allowed 9 goals. He had 58 shots faced, so we'll make that 59 today. 14 saves, we'll make that 15 today. In his career, if this is his last game. But yeah, Knutsen, 13th goal of the season for him, 26th in his career. He was an All-American in high school, might be making a case this year.
Him and Hunter Kane might be in that conversation.
Might be in the discussion.
J.C. Rule could always be in that discussion
J.C. Rule,
as well.
Sat Pathy in goal.
Yeah. There's any number of players on this Trinity team that could be in that conversation.
Yeah, look, I mean, there's a
year.
lot of great players around too. Goalkeeper's the hardest spot, so Sat Pathy might not get it. But yeah, I think it wouldn't be a shock to me to see John Connor Rule. Okay, let's see what happened here. I just pushed him off balance. Called by the AR.
Instral's another one I wouldn't be surprised to see, especially his goals have been up this year.
Yeah, his goal scoring output has been higher. Knutsen has scored is 5th with game-winning goals in the season in Division 3.
And what's that Golden Boot race look like now?
Golden Boot race now is... Well, let me start with Knutsen because he's number 2. So he has 13 goals on the season. Hunter Kane has... I have Hunter Kane's numbers wrong. I'm going to double check Hunter Kane.
Keeping us in suspense.
I know, because I'm worried I didn't update it. But let me do a double check here. Because I have him down as 11, which I think might be wrong, but let me double check it. Just to make 100% sure that I'm right. So Tigers 6-0 up on the Eagles. Hunter Kane.
It's a good spell from Trinity here.
Yeah, that was his 11th goal. So Knutsen does have the lead back.
Wow.
13. Scored a lot on the road stretch. 13-10. Well, 13-11, I should say.
Interesting.
Kane's been scoring in like spells though. Like he'll go
True.
a few games where he doesn't score, then he scores like in 5 straight games.
Then we're deciding the Golden Boot by regular season, or is postseason going to count?
No, yeah,
for
everything's
that,
going to count. Is my take.
Good cutback. Oh, what a!
Has
oh
a
my
hit.
goodness!
Good work. Faked
That's
it
filthy.
out a little bit. Jason Suko puts it away. San Antonio icon Jason Suko played for the San Antonio FC Youth Academy. It's his 2nd goal of his career and the season. Beautiful cutback. He's safe to shoot. Completely sold out the defender and then put it away. That's the kind of stuff that had him at Loyola.
That's unbelievable. And it's just a body feint. takes an extra touch, but the body feint is what does it. Like you said, shapes to
Just
shoot.
absolutely sold out the defender. Makes it 7. Tiebreak, though, is goals conceded. You can't concede fewer than 0. Big update. Huge update. Colorado College has conceded a goal.
A goal?
Yeah, 1. They are winning 6-1, but that doesn't matter.
Still need 3.
What matters is, look, but they could concede 3 on Sunday.
Who do they play?
I don't remember. They played Dallas. So, yeah, they've conceded a goal, so the gap is now down to 3 for Trinity.
Although we were discussing at halftime, it might be better for Trinity
Yeah, so
to
there
be the
is a
2 seed.
discussion that being the 2 seed might lead to a more favorable matchup. I don't know if Paul McGinley would agree.
What's it the difference between who and who?
I'm actually just pulling the
There we
standings
go.
up as we speak. So right now,
Little Meg going the wrong
so
way.
the number 2 seed will certainly play Concordia.
Okay.
Then it's between Southwestern, Texas Lutheran, and St. Thomas. So
we
you
don't
might
want
not
St.
want to be that
Thomas.
number 1 seed. Being the number 2 seed might be better. Because you're almost certainly playing Concordia. I'll just run you through the permeations in these last 6 minutes. Concordia are playing Southwestern right now.
That's a big game.
And I don't have any, which is a huge game because Southwestern right now is 4th. If they lose that, hands the advantage back to Texas Lutheran and St. Thomas. Unfortunately,
And Southwestern are like our second team here at Tiger
Yeah,
Network.
it's basically a home game here when they play here. We've seen a lot of them. So that's
Michael-
what's going on there.
I love Michael Grimm in the
Michael
postseason.
Grimm is so good. He's so good. I just love seeing him score goals.
He scored some fun ones. He doesn't score that much, but he scores some fun ones. From halfway, a free kick.
And so Texas Lutheran is playing Concordia, is playing McMurray and then Concordia. So Concordia have some big
Yeah,
games. These are
that's-
both teams in the hunt
Are they
that they play.
clinched in Concordia?
Concordia, they could lose both and be in a bit of trouble. If they draw one, if they get a draw, they would certainly be in. So Texas Lutheran is 4-1 up on McMurray right now. That one, though, might be crucial. St. Thomas, who has one more loss, so they need help. They are 4-0 up on Dallas. But they need help. They need, and I don't know if they can get enough help.
Good ball for Cowdrey. Oh, that was his chance.
Oh, that was a big chance. That's why you put him there. You put that height there.
They want that Cowdrey goal, I'm telling you. The bench would love it. There's a few players on the field right now if they got a goal.
Man played in one of my favorite football leagues in the world, the Isthmian Football League. Played with Three Bridges FC. Played in the Crawley Academy, who's a club that people may have heard of who aren't sickos who watch very, very low league football. Big fan of FIFA does a streaming service that you can
Yeah.
watch some more obscure leagues on.
I watched this summer. I watched Sudan versus South Sudan.
Oh, the Sudan Derby.
I thought that was going to be a
I
very
know a guy who
feisty
plays
game.
for South Sudan, actually.
Really? You know a lot of
I know a lot of people.
obscure references and people and like all sorts of places.
I know a lot of players who were eligible for South Sudan but are now not eligible because they've played for another national team, but one of them is currently... One of them does play for the South Sudan national team. Plays for San Antonio FC too. So, that's how I know him. So yeah, St. Thomas, I don't know if they can get enough help is the challenge for them.
Have they been mathematically eliminated?
They're not mathematically eliminated. And Southwestern and Texas Lutheran don't play each other, which would put them out.
Yep.
But I'm not saying this could happen, but Texas Lutheran and Concordia play each other and could conspire. If Texas Lutheran beats Concordia, St. Thomas really can't get in. But that's how far down we go. Basically, so it's Trinity and Colorado College 8-0-1. Concordia's 6-3. As long as they don't lose both, Concordia's definitely in. Then it's really tight.
And do we have an update on their current game?
I don't. I can't. That's the only game I can't get a live update on. Let me see if I can go to Southwestern's website. Southwestern Pirates.
That's really good footwork at the back from Hoy there. Former D1 player at Clemson, I believe.
Oh, there we go. It's 3-1 Southwestern.
Ooh.
Which is going to make it
on.
a bit harder for St. Thomas.
But it's Concordia could still fall out.
Concordia could still fall out. So going through, Trinity, Colorado College, they're the only two teams that are definitely in. 8-0-1. Both need to win both games to assure the regular season title. Concordia 6-3, could theoretically fall out because none of the teams below play each other. Southwestern 4-2-3, Texas Lutheran 4-2-3, St. Thomas 4-3-2, Austin College 4-4-1. Centenary could theoretically jump in 3-6-1. Ozarks could theoretically jump in at 3-6. Well, not anymore.
Not anymore.
Centenary could theoretically jump in, but they would need to win both remaining.
And get significant amount of help.
And they just had a 3-3 tie with Shriner, so they're out. So it's just the teams on 4. So Southwestern, Texas Lutheran, St. Thomas, and Austin College are all theoretically still alive. Austin College won't beat because they are in the middle of having a big defeat to Colorado College. So that would mean that they are out of contention. With the other results going the way they're going, basically.
So Concordia are on 6.
Concordia are on 6. Could drop out if the other 4s win.
The other 4 are all on 4.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So if they win both and Concordia loses by enough. The big thing for Concordia is they don't have the tiebreak. They've conceded 14 goals. So they are the lowest team in the
Who do they play on Sunday?
Concordia plays Texas Lutheran,
Wow.
which will basically decide which one of them is in. That's essentially a quarterfinal. It's essentially that's a quarterfinal at this point.
Yeah.
So
does that mean Southwestern are essentially in?
Let me see. Southwestern.
Just by the fact that those two teams have to play each other.
Well, Southwestern plays Concordia.
They're winning right now.
They're winning
3-1.
right now. So they'd be at 5-2-3. In theory, no. But let me see. We're just going to real quick run through this. They don't have the tiebreak over Texas Lutheran. They do over St. Thomas. So I just...
A lot could happen.
I just don't want to say Southwestern's definitely in, right? So we'll run through those permutations. We'll run through the permutations in the women's game, which is up next.
Yep.
So stick with it. Sunday, we're going to have the men's team. They're playing Centenary, who have just been eliminated from contention.
And we'll definitely be talking about the scores of the
We'll
other
definitely be
games.
watching those other games on Sunday. I'll have my other phone. We'll have my phone up. So with that win, 7-0, Paul McGinley has now become, if I pull up my notes on Paul, which are all the way at the bottom, not all the way at the top. So Paul McGinley's win makes him the 5th winningest coach in NCAA Division III history. He moves ahead of Horst Richardson, who was at Colorado College, 1966 to 2015. So he is now 5th. He goes ahead of Horst Richardson. He's 8th if you count all the divisions.
Wow.
So huge thing. He moves to 6th all time. Let's get a look at these goals. We're not even going to show you all of them.
It's a great flick there.
Beautiful
really
goal.
well worked goal from everybody involved.
Now into the second half goals.
What a save.
That one was so close to an own goal. That was beautiful footwork. Left with a simple finish, put away. Of course, runs to the alumni. His former teammates. The free kick. Just recovered enough.
And then this is the exact opposite of that free kick.
He's frustrated with himself. Yeah, I think he could have done better on it. So there we go. That's the final score, 7-0. Tigers with a big win. And it's been a good net day for the Tigers because that gap with Colorado College and the tiebreak has shrunk. It's down to 3. They can't really control much. They just have to not concede and hope that Colorado College concede 3. We'll keep you up with what's happening in those games on Sunday. We hope to see you then. Stick around, though. We've got the women's game in about half an hour from now. So we'll see you then for the women's game. It's Trinity against University of the Ozarks there as well. Trinity, a win in that game will clinch the regular season title. So that's going on there, but we'll keep you up with what's happening in the other conference games for any permutations. But we will see you there. Stick around if you're not. If you can't, we'll see you on Sunday. We hope you have a good weekend, and we will see you Sunday. Thank you so much.
Every morning, we rise, ready to meet our human potential, to take that next incremental step, to do the hard work that changes. Set in our preparedness and confidence in that moment when you know, I've got this. And then we rise. Each of us, all of us. We rise as passions coalesce in research, art, athletics, and beyond. We rise to the challenge of inquiry and discovery through undergraduate research and hands-on learning. We rise through the personal attention of a small college fueled by large university resources. We rise to the need for listening across differences, teaching the art and the act of conversation. We rise to the sounds of a vibrant, diverse, and culturally rich city, and we reflect it. At Trinity University, we recognize that you are here because you are ready to rise. And through a love of learning and a life of learning, we will challenge you to always reach beyond the horizon. Because your future awaits.